The pressure is on in this qualifying session, but Ernest Heather is rising to the occasion.
It's certainly exciting to watch. But let's not forget, the goal is to secure a good starting position for the race.
Wayne Midden is on their first flying lap. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Dewald Lambert has just completed a lap in 1:18.301. Let's see if they can improve on that time further. It's all about precision and speed in qualifying, and Jacobus Besson is nailing both. Jacobus Besson has just completed that lap in 1:17.996. Their best lap so far is 1:17.996. Putting them in P1. Will they be able to hold onto that spot? Woohoo! Taihan Van Ruyen is really turning up the heat out there. I'm getting goosebumps just watching them go. Jacobus Besson is not as quick as they were hoping for. They're going to need to dig deep and find some extra pace on this next one if they want to move up the grid. Jacobus Besson will be happy having put themselves into second in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts.
Jacobus Besson will be happy having put themselves into second in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
I don't know about you, but I think Ernest Heather might have a secret rocket booster hidden in their car. They're just that fast. Jacobus Besson looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve?
That's right, it's all or nothing now. They need to stay focused, hit their marks, and extract every ounce of performance from that car to move up the grid.
Looks like Joost Haystack is channeling their inner Schumacher today. They're absolutely flying out there. Someone call the fire department because JP Brand is setting this track on fire with their performance. Woohoo! Taihan Van Ruyen is really turning up the heat out there. I'm getting goosebumps just watching them go. Ernest Heather is not as quick as they were hoping for. They're going to need to dig deep and find some extra pace on this next one if they want to move up the grid. Henko looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve?
They'll need to put together a perfect lap, hitting every apex and pushing the car to the limit without going over it.
A strong showing from JP Brand as they currently sit in second. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Currently in third, Richard Reshka has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
Absolutely, John. Richard Reshka has shown great potential to secure third. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
What a performance from Taihan Van Ruyen. They currently occupy fourth on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot? A solid qualifying performance by Henko, positioning them in sixth at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners.
Great analysis, John. Henko has shown excellent pace to secure sixth. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
A solid performance from Eden Gishin as they currently hold position 7. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
Absolutely, John. Eden Gishin has put in a remarkable effort to secure 7th. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
Hernes Besson has positioned themselves well in 9th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Impressive display by JP Brand, currently sitting in position 2. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
Couldn't agree more, John. JP Brand has positioned themselves impressively in second. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Hernes Besson has put in a great effort and currently holds 9th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? Impressive work from JP Brand, who has claimed second on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position. JP Brand will be happy having put themselves into first in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
The drivers are ready. Let the racing begin?
Yes, John. Let the racing begin.
Starting from pole position is a great opportunity for JP Brand to take control of the race.
But they can't count their chickens before they hatch. There is a long way to go.
Securing the second place is Duald Lambert.
Duald Lambert will be expecting to bring home solid points.
It's Richard Reshka, sitting comfortably in third. Our fourth-place starter for today's race is none other than Tijhan van Ruyen.
Tijhan van Ruyen will be ready to show what they're made of.
And in fifth place, we have Jacobus Besson. The race has begun, full throttle ahead. This first lap is crucial, as drivers need to establish their position early on.
The first lap can be chaotic, and avoiding any major incidents is key. Drivers need to be alert and ready to react to any sudden changes on the track.
The tension is high here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap. I think passing is going to be difficult today here at Killarney International Raceway, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers get on.
I am so excited at the prospects for this race. I can't wait to see the drama unfold.
This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it. Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here. Oh, the pressure is on for Ernest Besson. Trapped between Eden Gishen 0.1 seconds away and Joni Geldenhuys just ahead with a gap of 0.2 seconds. They must defend their position while seeking an opportunity to advance. Eden Gishen seems to be putting the pressure on Ernest Besson. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
At this rate, Ernest Heather and Ulrich Kleinhans are so close, they could share a cup of tea and a biscuit.
Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Richard Reshka in second and Tijhan van Ruyen. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.3 seconds.
That's right, Richard Reshka is showing some great form and it looks like Tijhan van Ruyen won't be able to catch up, barring any mistakes.
The pursuit is on. Tijhan van Ruyen is closing the gap on Richard Reshka, determined to claim P2.
The gap between them is just over 0.3 seconds. Can Tijhan van Ruyen close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
It's a game of inches now as Peter Geldenhuys tails Eden Gishen closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Eden Gishen is right on the heels of Peter Geldenhuys, and we're in for a wild ride. Ernest Heather wants to close that gap with Ulrich Kleinhans. This is a thrilling moment in the race, with Richard Reshka in second defending their position with everything they've got. But Tijhan, hold on a moment. Looks like that's a mistake from Duald Lambert. This could be costly. It's going to be tough. Richard Reshka is a master at defending their position. Is there enough time for Tijhan van Ruyen to make a move? They're going to be even more determined to hold on to that position.
It's not over yet. Taihan Van Ruyen is right on Richard Reschke's tail, and if they can find just a little bit of extra speed, they might be able to make a move.
Look at that, Taihan Van Ruyen is hot on the tail of Richard Reschke. JP Brand has the pedal to the metal chasing Henko. Things are heating up as Peter Geldenhuys tries to close the gap to Ernest Besson. The intensity is off the charts as Warren Dodd hounds Jeevan Davis, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
If things go wrong between Warren Dodd and Jeevan Davis, they could be exchanging more than just paint, like maybe a strongly worded post-race chat.
Every move counts now as Taihan Van Ruyen works to reel in Richard Reschke and overtake for P2. The gap between JP Brand in 5th and Henko remains over a second, but JP Brand is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 5 minutes?
This is where experience comes into play. Henko has been in this position before and knows how to defend their position. But JP Brand is hungry for success and won't give up easily. Will we see a clash of the titans?
It's an intense battle for position as Jacobus Besson tries to outmaneuver JP Brand. This is edge of your seat racing. The gap between Ernest Besson and Joni Geldenhuys is razor thin as they vie for 7th in this nail-biting contest.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Ernest Besson must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
It's all eyes on this battle as Peter Geldenhuys in 9th tries to hold off the challenge of Ethan Gishen.
This could be where Ethan Gishen is gonna dive up the inside. Peter Geldenhuys is going to need to cover the inside and that will compromise their exit speed.
Oh, this is getting intense. Ethan Gishen is just a few car lengths behind Peter Geldenhuys.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curves and pushing the car to its limits.
Looks like Ernest Heather is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control. It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Ernest Heather needs to stay patient and wait for Ulrich Kleinhans to make a mistake.
The tension is high. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Taihan Van Ruyen trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Richard Reschke. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Taihan Van Ruyen close in enough to mount a challenge?
It's going to be tough for Taihan Van Ruyen, as Richard Reschke seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Taihan Van Ruyen pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Ernest Besson is breathing down the neck of Peter Geldenhuys, not giving them any room to relax. Oh, this is getting intense. Ethan Gishen is just behind Ernest Besson. Wayne Midden wants to find a way round Jeevan Davis.
Rubbing is racing. Let's hope they don't rub it too hard.
It looks like Eden Gishin is all over Hernes Besson. I think they are gonna press them through standing and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, John, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Hernes Besson is gonna be aware of them riding their bumper. And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake, but who's going to make that mistake first?
We got a close battle as Wayne Midden closes in on Jeevan Davis.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Who will keep their cool under pressure? Wayne Midden or Jeevan Davis? It's anyone's race.
This is a thrilling battle as JP Brand edges closer to Henko in their fight for P4. Breaking development. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. It's a battle of wills out there, with Jacobus Besson trying to outsmart and outmaneuver JP Brand. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
Absolutely. Jacobus Besson in 6th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Peter Geldenhuys is chasing Joni Geldenhuys in P7.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Peter Geldenhuys needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
This is what separates the best from the rest. These drivers are demonstrating their racecraft, searching for any weakness to exploit. It's a true test of skill. Eden Gishin is looking for an opportunity to get round Hernes Besson. It looks like Jeevan Davis is pushing hard to catch up to Wayne Midden. The gap is over a second, but Jeevan Davis is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Wayne Midden?
Indeed, the tension is high as Jeevan Davis tries to reel in Wayne Midden. But Wayne Midden is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can Jeevan Davis find some extra pace to bring the fight to Wayne Midden?
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Taihan Van Ruyen will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. It looks like JP Brand is in control. They're ahead of Jacobus Besson by over a second, and it doesn't look like they're going to be challenged anytime soon.
Jacobus Besson is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless JP Brand makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to 5th.
Jacobus Besson is running 6th. They're trying to catch JP Brand.
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds. Who will come out on top?
Peter Geldenhuys is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
Hernes Besson appears to be trying to find a way round Eden Gishin. They could make a move on them in standing. This is what it's all about, folks. Ulrich Kleinhans is in hot pursuit of Hernes Besson, who's just trying to stay ahead. Superb driving from Ulrich Kleinhans, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
Impressive. Ulrich Kleinhans is really showing their skill and determination out there.
We are used to seeing some hard... Hold on a second. I don't think that's the fastest way around Killarney International Raceway. The pressure is on for Taihan Van Ruyen as they try to catch up to Richard Reshka. Wow, Ernest Heather is really pushing hard to catch up to Peter Geldenhuys. There's blood in the water for 8th place.
It's a battle for position as Ernest Heather tries to make a move on Peter Geldenhuys. This is what racing is all about.
The tension is building as Peter Geldenhuys trails behind Ernest Heather. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Ernest Heather hold on, or will Peter Geldenhuys be able to close them down? It's a close race between Henko and JP Brand in 4th.
If Henko gets any closer, they might as well ask JP Brand for a piggyback ride.
Seems like Jacobus Besson is getting in range of Henko.
Can they make it past without taking the paint off?
Ernest Besson seems to be putting the pressure on Ulrich Kleinhans.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
It's like Dewald Lambert has saved all their energy for this final stretch.
They'll be the ones celebrating at the finish line.
What a win! This is a historic moment for Dewald Lambert, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision. Some might say that 2nd place is the first loser, but Richard Reshka certainly doesn't see it that way. They put in a phenomenal effort and should be proud of their impressive result.
Intense race, but Richard Reshka held their nerve and earned a great 2nd place.
What a race from Taihan Van Ruyen, showing their skill and determination for a great 3rd place finish. JP Brand, Henko, Jacobus Besson, and Joni Geldenhuys end in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. With Ernest Heather, Eaton Gishen, Peter Geldenhuys, and Warren Dodd in 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. In 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, it's Ulrich Kleinhans, Wayne Midden, Ernest Besson, and Joost Haystack. Jeevan Davis claimed 16th. Annie, the drivers are ready. Let the racing begin?
Yes, John. Let the racing begin.
Peter Geldenhuys will lead the way from pole position.
The pressure's on now. Can he handle the heat and stay ahead of the pack?
Taking the second spot is Eden Gishen.
And like many others, they are starting the race on the softs tire compound.
Ernest Heather will begin the race from the third spot on the starting grid. Starting from the fourth position on the grid, we have Joni Geldenhuys. Jacobus Besson has qualified fifth. The green flag is waving and we are off to the races. Let's see who can get out in front and establish an early lead.
Staying out of trouble in these early moments is crucial. It's a fine line between pushing hard and staying safe.
Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position?
The first lap can always be a bit of a bun fight as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
All the drivers will be trying to take advantage of the pack whilst they're still bunched up. The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this one.
I'm looking forward to burning some rubber here, John.
There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start.
There are a few drivers with a point to prove, and a few with some grudges to bear. Will we see a clean race today?
No room for error here. Jacobus Besson is breathing down the neck of Dewald Lambert, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. And Warren Dodd is having to make that golf_MK1_club_1_FWD as wide as possible to try and keep Richard Reschke behind them. The race is really heating up. Richard Reschke is hunting down Warren Dodd with everything they've got.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Richard Reschke needs to be careful not to overdo it.
This is going to be a nail-biter. Jacobus Besson is defending for their life, but Warren Dodd is right there. Can they do it? The crowd is on its feet as Warren Dodd chases down Jacobus Besson through back straight. The gap between Ulrich Kleinhans and Ernest Besson may be wide, but that doesn't mean Ulrich Kleinhans is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Jeevan Davis could be looking for a way up the inside of Ernest Besson.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
Breaking update. Oh my JP brand has had an incident. The pursuit is on. Joost Haystack is closing the gap on JP brand, determined to claim P15.
This is where every inch counts. Joost Haystack is pushing hard to close the gap on JP brand. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
Warren Dodd wants to close that gap with Wayne Midden.
Do they have the speed for a move, and more importantly, do they have the talent?
Look at that, Ulrich Kleinhans is hot on the tail of Warren Dodd.
The tension between Ulrich Kleinhans and Warren Dodd is palpable as they battle for P10. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
3 cars in perfect formation, creating a moving train on the circuit. They're using the slipstream to gain an advantage, but who will make the decisive move? Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. Oh my, Hernes Besson has dropped down to 14.
That's got to hurt. Hernes Besson will be kicking themselves right now.
And Hernes Besson has just lost the place to JP Brand.
Yes, they've got to dig deep and find some extra speed if they want to get.
Stop the press. Looks like that's a mistake from Warren Dodd. This could be costly.
It's a real shame. Until this point in the race, they've been looking at a decent result.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Ernest Heather is closing in on Peter Geldenhuys. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Eden Gisham, who is currently in P4. But Dewald Lambert is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Eden Gisham. It's a thrilling pursuit as Henko is right behind Taihan Van Ruyen, keeping the pressure on for 5th place. What a move. Henko has moved up to 5th.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
A setback for Henko, who has just been passed. Hold on a moment. That won't be ideal for Joost Heystek. It's a battle of wills out there. Each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
And it's not just about skill and talent. It's about who has the nerves of steel to handle the pressure and make the right decisions at the right time.
It's like watching 2 predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. A great moment for Richard Reschke, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. The battle for 9 is heating up as Wayne Midden tries to catch Richard Reschke in P9. Every move counts now as Ulrich Kleinhans works to reel in JP Brand and overtake for P11. The adrenaline is pumping as Hernes Besson gets within striking distance of Jeevan Davis in their race for 13th. Fantastic move from Hernes Besson, who has just gained a position. A tough moment for Hernes Besson, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 14th.
Definitely, but Hernes Besson is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
The action is non-stop as Richard Reschke shadows Joni Geldenhuys through every twist and turn, determined to claim 8th.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
This is a thrilling battle as Joni Geldenhuys edges closer to Richard Reschke in their fight for P8. JP Brand is on a mission, chasing Wayne Midden, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
The mental game is just as important here. JP Brand must keep their cool while putting pressure on Wayne Midden.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Ernest Besson is chasing Jeevan Davis in P13.
The gap between them is just over 0.3 seconds. Who will have the speed and skill to come out on top?
Things are heating up as Eden Gishin tries to close the gap to Ernest Heather. Taihan Van Ruyen is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
As they speed through start-finish, Eden Gishin is relentlessly pursuing Taihan Van Ruyen in a high-stakes battle for position.
The only thing closer than Eden Gishin to Taihan Van Ruyen.
Wait, Eden Gishin has pulled into the pits. JP Brand is giving it their all as they chase down Wayne Mitten in P10.
Who will be able to maintain their pace and come out on top?
Ernest Besson is running 14th. They are trying to catch Jeevan Davis.
Can Ernest Besson close the 0.4 second gap and make a pass?
Look at that. Dewald Lambert is hot on the tail of Peter Geldenhuis. Taihan Van Ruyen wants to get into Richard Reshka's slipstream. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
I think they are going to take them.
The race is really heating up. JP Brand is hunting down Wayne Mitten with everything they've got. Oh, this is getting intense. Ernest Besson is just a few car lengths behind Jeevan Davis. Things are heating up as Henko closes in on Ernest Heather. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. Eden Gishin has a battle on their hands now as they come through back straight with Richard Reshka hot on their tail.
Eden Gishin needs to get the lead out, John, otherwise their backside is gonna look like the Japanese flag come the morning.
The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. A brilliant maneuver from Richard Reshka, who has just moved up the field.
Yes, Richard Reshka is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
Eden Gishin is looking for an opportunity to get round Richard Reshka.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
Jeevan Davis has the pedal to the metal chasing Joost Haystack.
Rubbing is racing. Let's hope they don't rub it too hard.
The pursuit is on. Ernest Besson is closing the gap on Jeevan Davis, determined to claim P14.
Will Ernest Besson be able to make a move and pass Jeevan Davis?
It's an intense battle for position as Henko tries to outmaneuver Ernest Heather. This is edge-of-your-seat racing.
Henko is following Ernest Heather so closely, they could start charging them rent for occupying the same space on the track.
Coming into start-finish, the fight for fifth is heating up. Who will be the first to blink?
These two are putting on a masterclass in precision driving. Every turn, every acceleration, calculated to perfection.
Great driving from Taihan Van Ruyen, who has just gained a place and moved up to 5th.
Absolutely. Taihan Van Ruyen is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it look easy.
They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing prowess. I'm sure Jacobus Besson in 7th is starting to notice Ethan Gishen is right on their tail, and is still closing that gap. Can Jacobus Besson, can they hold onto their position? The intensity is off the charts as Ethan Gishen hounds Jacobus Besson, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. It's a game of inches now as Joni Geldenhuys tails JP Brand closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
That's right, Joni Geldenhuys is determined to pass JP Brand and secure a higher position.
Seems like JP Brand is getting in range of Joni Geldenhuys.
There is no room for error in this battle.
The gap between Ernest Besson and Jeevan Davis is razor thin as they vie for 14th in this nail-biting contest. It's a challenging situation for Ernest Besson. They're sandwiched between their fierce competitors, Warren Dodd 0.1 seconds away and Jeevan Davis 0.2 seconds ahead. They'll need to stay sharp and find an opportunity to make a move. Hold your breath, folks. Ernest Besson is sandwiched between two relentless competitors. Warren Dodd 0.1 seconds behind and Jeevan Davis 0.2 seconds ahead. They're fighting tooth and nail for every position.
Absolutely, John. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind are like windows of opportunity for Ernest Besson. They need to assess the timing and make their moves wisely to maximize their chances.
The leader has done it. What an incredible performance from Dewald Lambert, who was simply untouchable today. This is a race that will go down in the history books.
You could feel the tension building throughout the race, but Dewald Lambert remained focused and in control. That's what separates the winners from the pack.
Impressive second-place finish for Peter Geldenhuys. Excellent focus from Ernest. Braking development. It looks like Joost Haystack has been called into the pits. Braking update. Joost Haystack has decided to pit. Finishing 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th is Ethan Gishen, Joni Geldenhuys, JP Brand, and Wayne Midden. Ulrich Kleinhans, Joost Haystack, Ernest Besson, and Jeevan Davis take 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Ernest Heather is in the pits.